Sony talks about increasing investment in original IP, Black Myth Wukong exclusivity drama continues, and the PS5 Pro update that possibly addresses why they're going the digital route. All this in today's video. Please hit that like button, subscribe to never miss a PlayStation update, and share the video to help grow this community. Now, Sony's leadership seems to believe that the company, including its PlayStation division, is lacking in original IP. To address this, they are planning a multi-billion-dollar investment aimed at creating fresh content to expand their presence in the entertainment industry. In an interview with the Financial Times, they shared their goal of nurturing new IP from the very beginning. But is PlayStation really struggling when it comes to original IP? Sony's CFO Hiroki Totoki told Financial Times in quotes, "Whether it's for games, films, or anime, we don't have that much IP that we've developed from the ground up. We're missing the early phases of IP creation, and that's an issue for us," end quote. Totoki also pointed out that while Sony has excelled at bringing existing well-known IPs to new audiences, the company's growth potential lies in creating original content from scratch, which could yield higher returns. While it's great to hear that Sony is focused on new IP, these comments feel a bit odd when it comes to PlayStation. After all, PlayStation has been home to many successful franchises they've nurtured from the start. One of the biggest franchises and successes from the PS4 era, Bloodborne, seems to have been all but forgotten. It feels like it's been abandoned, at least for now. And then we have games like Until Dawn, which has been given a remake, not exactly the new IP we're hoping for, and it's unclear who was actually asking for this. I am all for creating new IP and investing money into that, but I do also feel Sony needs to utilize the incredible franchises that they already have, and there are quite a number of them. It's important to also note that this new IP initiative is not just for PlayStation games. They did talk about all different mediums of entertainment, so it could be even referencing even more so into areas that they aren't as well fleshed out in as they are with PlayStation, although I still feel that PlayStation will definitely be a direction that they are going for. We already know that this is a case with Sony Santa Monica already working on a new IP, amongst other studios doing the same. Now, moving on to Black Myth Wukong and its exclusivity drama, Microsoft seems to be hinting once again that Sony may have made an unusual and secret deal for PS5 exclusivity on a big game. It's not hard to figure out which game they're referring to, and I believe that game is actually Black Myth Wukong, and everybody else believes that to be the case as well. Microsoft has denied that the limited time exclusivity for Black Myth Wukong on PS5 is due to any limitations with Xbox. This all started when Game Science announced a delay for the game on Xbox Series X and S, attributing it to optimization issues. Shortly after, Microsoft released a somewhat cryptic statement to Windows Central that seemed to suggest Sony might have paid for this exclusivity. Things escalated when Forbes contributor Paul Tassi claimed to have heard that Sony signed a unique deal for the game, a claim that was backed up by IGN. However, other journalists like Jeff Grubb and at least two other insiders quickly disputed this. Microsoft has now made a second statement to Forbes, firmly stating that the delay is not due to any technical limitations on Xbox. Their statement says, in quotes, "As we have said before, we are excited for the launch of Black Myth Wukong on Xbox Series X and S and are working with Game Science to bring the game to our platforms. We'd prefer not to comment on deals our partners have made with other platform holders, but we can confirm that the delay is not due to Xbox platform limitations." At this point, it's tough to know who or what to believe. It is very much out of the ordinary for PlayStation to not yell from the mountain peaks about exclusives on their platform. I feel the notion that Sony is making secret exclusive deals sounds out of character and almost sounds sort of illegal. Microsoft's track record for inconsistent messaging also doesn't help. At the moment, I am inclined to believe Game Science, as they said, they need more time to optimize the Xbox version. It wouldn't really make sense for them to keep it a secret that they have exclusivity with Sony. It doesn't even make sense for them to lie about why it's delayed. It makes perfect sense for them to address that head on, which Game Science did. And inclined to believe them. I really think that Game Science is telling us the truth, and they have no reason to lie. Obviously, it's in their best interest for as many people as possible to play their game, and if they had an exclusivity deal, surely that would be disclosed in one way or another. Moving on, though, we're talking about the PS5 Pro and the digital strategy, as there are concerns with it being a digital version of the console, although there are already speculations about you being able to just attach a disc drive or it being sold separately, which make a lot of sense given the casings attached to the console. Now, if Sony were to release only a digital version of the PS5 Pro, it might be a smart move to keep the price down, especially since the company seems to be struggling with rising production costs. On a recent episode of their podcast, the tech experts over at Digital Foundry discussed this possibility following a recent leak suggesting that a digital-only model might be the only version of the PS5 Pro we see, based on the sales split between the PS4 and PS4 Pro, about an 80-20 in favor of the base model. It's pretty clear that the PS5 Pro will likely appeal to a smaller, more niche audience. Given this, it's hard to imagine Sony would want to complicate things further by offering multiple versions of the Pro, especially after already doing so with the base PS5. Price is another big concern here. Sony's been dealing with the rising production costs as seen in the recent price hike for the PS5 in Japan. Releasing only a digital version of the PS5 Pro would help keep the price lower, making it more attractive to buyers. After all, the upgraded hardware is going to push the price higher than the standard PS5, so anything Sony can do to keep the cost manageable could make a big difference. However, focusing solely on a digital model might present some challenges for the PS5 Pro's target audience, which can often prefer physical game copies. While it's likely that the digital model will be compatible with the detachable disc drive, that adds to the overall cost, which might not sit well with enthusiasts. Despite this, Digital Foundry still believes a digital-only release would make the most sense overall. As of now, the PS5 Pro hasn't been officially announced, but I'll keep you all updated on whenever it does and all the details that come with it. As far as I'm concerned, as long as they have an option for people to buy a detachable disc drive that will connect to it and make it a, disc drive PS5, I don't see a problem with it, especially if they're just trying to mitigate some cost for the consumer who is maybe not interested in buying disc or physical media, as there are a lot of people who aren't buying physical media out there as well. But that is all I have for you guys in today's video. Let me know what you all think about Sony speaking on lacking original IP in their new initiative. How are you feeling about this Black Myth Wukong exclusivity drama? Is Microsoft telling the truth? Is Game Science telling the truth? What do you think? And lastly, how are you feeling about PS5 Pro possibly only launching a digital model that you can possibly buy a disc drive for down the road? As always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and share the video to keep this community growing. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.